Perfect. All right.
Good to hear from you, John.
And we're live. You too, man. Yeah, it's been it's been interesting. I'm just trying to see if I can. So we are live. Looks like we're live. And I've got to bring up the chat room. So. Okay, let's see. Yeah, just let me see the event, please. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, that's scary. It's weird when you see yourself up that close. So, welcome everybody. I think there's a few people joining us, and we're going with the flow today. And just as I got ready to go live, my good friend John Paul Rice, Hollywood director, just happened to call. So I'm psyched. John, how are you?
Hey man, it's an honor and a pleasure to know officially and acknowledge a verified, targeted establishment person. I was so excited. I had to call you up. I said, "You got banned. You're doing something right."
I don't know what took them so long, really, but
the algorithms or whatever, the poor people that have to mine through all the tweets daily to see who's saying something offensive or could be a potential threat to whatever narrative they're trying to counter. But it's awesome.
Yeah,
I see it. It's an awesome information war that's going down. And as soon as they take a group down, everybody else pays attention. More attention is paid to it because they know that you're obviously at this point, if they're striking you in some way, it's a good thing.
yeah. Well,
bad thing for them, but a good thing for everybody else.
Yeah, and like I said, that day was just so awesome because I saw Clinton body. I think Howie texted me and said, "You got to go on Twitter. Look at what's trending," and it was Clinton body count, and I got behind that in a big way and started, just tweeting a lot and just putting the hashtag in. I mean, that's not against their rules as far as I know. And what we had been doing, and actually what I've been doing more so, because we haven't really, traffic report's been kind of in hiatus, kind of a little bit with a lot of stuff going on with all of us involved. But I had been lasering in on Dershowitz and Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. And and they have that new Rusty Shackleford YouTube channel. If you haven't been on there, you need to check that out. And it's HD HD videos of Epstein Island. And
oh yeah, I've caught a few of those. There's I just heard that there was up to 27 channels or 27 different videos of this now.
Yeah, he's up to 30. I hit my notifications and I get notified, but I mean, it will just creep you out. And they're pretty good. I don't know if they've got different guys doing this, but some of the ones looked very professional. And then I talked to Jason, and then I looked at a couple other ones, and the quality was kind of not that good. And Jason Goodman's used to Hollywood quality, so he's kind of spoiled. But the one I saw, that drone dropped down between a tree and that temple, whatever, facility that they have.
Oh, the gym.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The workout.
He worked out, and he had a big picture of a topless woman. Oh, the horror of this pervert.
Yeah, the work.
Except they forgot one detail, that the gymnasium only locks from the outside, which is like what a prison does.
Yeah. I don't know if but this guy dropped that thing down, and there wasn't an inch to spare. And if you look at it, it's like, whoa, how the hell did he do that? Because you can't, when you're running one of those things, you're just looking at what the drone's seeing. You're not, it was like he had all this, it was like a fighter pilot, all this, situational awareness. It was awesome. But anyway, so yeah, we were, and then up popped the ambulance, and I just, that just floored me. and we were tweeting pictures of that, and right after that, boom, they took, and it was right across the board, all three. It was my personal account, Fireman John 628, and Traffic Report 1 and 2, and we really only had two because they were doing that to us when we first got on Twitter. So we made a backup channel, but between all those accounts, it was 15,000 followers. I mean, it was we got the a lot of information out. But what I noticed too, John Paul, is that they were so shadow banned and throttled that even the people that I regularly tweet with, I don't think they were getting half of the stuff that I tweet.
Right.
So
that's the only times that I saw any of your tweets was only the ones that I was included in, because I would get the notification. But outside of that, I mean, I'm sure that whatever it is, like sometimes I go weeks without seeing certain people.
Yeah,
I have to actually go and find them.
Yeah, and I Pam Olson says hi. She's Save Our Children in California. Awesome.
Oh, hey Pam.
Awesome. But yeah, and what I noticed too was they throttle the accounts too. It's not just shadow banning. It's like there's a procedure called throttling, and I think they just delete some of your content. I would some of my notifications would be there, then they wouldn't be there. But this new account, it's kind of refreshing because it's like I tweet something and it's like people actually see it and respond.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm sure they'll be on it, sooner or later. But I don't care. And if I played any role in continuing Clinton body count trending for a few more hours, it was worth it. But wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how are you doing? I mean, you're a very busy man from what I understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am, but I don't know. Like, I think between the last time you and I talked, just a lot of changes personally. I would say in a very short way, it's been these last 4 or 5 months have been a spiritual journey for me personally. And I've seen that actually happen in a lot of people during this time. One of the things that I learned was a very simple quote from a lama that followed a certain Buddhist line of thought, the Karmapa. But I haven't been getting heavily into anything other than just observing stuff. And what he said was something pretty profound in Poland in 1980. He said, when the outside world loses meaning to people, in other words, the answers are not outside anymore, we turn inward and look at ourselves and we tend to do that. Human beings tend to do that. So for all the distractions that are out there, we actually have kind of like a mechanism in us that'll turn on at a certain point and kind of like tell us to pay attention or stop our BS. And yeah, I mean it. So I'm not going to tell the whole story, but basically, it's been a refreshing time personally, because I think you and I'm not here to editorialize about my life, but you and I talked a little bit and kind of sensed how I was down before.
Yeah.
You noticed that, you had noticed my energy had changed, and I seemed down, and I was for sure, because I'm 40. I'll be 41 in September, and the age is not the issue. It's just that I've come to a point in my life where I said by 40 I got to start to do things, change, and turn this around. And what that meant was more of a personal thing, because in spite of myself, I produced 6 films in 10 years while working a full-time job as well. And but I hadn't organized myself well enough, and my life was headed in a direction that just got lonelier by the day. And so I ended up figuring out a way to get out of the job that I'd been in for 13 years. It was sucking my soul, making me angry every day, and step at a time. just if I went to the gym, I would listen to positive things being said by very intelligent people, and listening to podcasts that were positively affirming motivation, but not the surface level stuff, but getting deeper to the root cause of like using our knowledge of child rearing and the measurements of the brain today to be able to access and confirm this is how we're actually operating. This is how we're actually working. This is actually how the human mind actually performs. And then when you look at it from, you and I, from a political awakening part that started before, this last year or two. But the thing is that all of it is accelerated to a level where you have such knowledge and awareness of things now, or you have a kind of a different picture of reality that's unfolding in front of you. And you don't necessarily know it consciously, you just kind of unconsciously know it, and it's bothering you because there's been a disruption in the system, not just the political system, but the system of the illusion of reality that we all had for many, many years. And for me personally, it was going into child's voice, human trafficking, that popped the pus inside. That's really what it did. When you contemplate the level of evil, darkness, no empathy, reptilian mind, and those individuals have been placed in positions of power and institutions, and the most trusted faces and the brands, and those that, when you think of the media and how it's conditioned you to make believe in faces and on-camera personas. So there's this betrayal, and if you're like me and you had these issues, it all comes full circle because you see a child abuse system.
Yeah, well,
made in their image to do this to people and get away with it as they sell you electronic hallucinations and empty promises and more lies for desperate people until they've eaten you up and spit you out and commodified every single aspect of your entire life. When your father is about to die, which I had to deal with last year, and you see how Medicaid and Medicare actually work, where you have to be damn dirt poor with no money in your accounts before it kicks in. What they do is they liquidate everything else.
I know. I went through that with my mom. Yeah. Awful.
Yeah. And this is government. And so you think about, like, no one ever talks about that reality. They just talk about we need to fund it more. And everybody agrees with it, and it grows the bureaucracy. But this isn't about politics. It's just understanding that these are all extensions of a matrix, an illusion of reality that has been placed over every single one of us. It's affected us differently because of different environments in which we grew up in. But it all reproduces the same result, which is to make you dumber and poorer. Yep. Keep go through these rigged elections.
Keep your nose to the grindstone. I'm just putting your bear with me for a second here, John.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a rant.
No, that's all right. I'm trying.
I hope you didn't lose viewers.
No. But wait a minute. I do that really well all by myself. Why isn't it? What the hell? Show the contents of your screen. Okay, there. I'm trying to show people your the poster to your movie.
Oh.
So for those who don't know, and probably everybody that listens to us does know, about A Child's Voice, you were on the show. Did Tiffany come on with you?
She came on after me.
After you, yeah.
Time you had, that was right when she started coming out with her video, and Kathy was talking then.
Yeah, and there's if you guys
that was last summer.
Yeah, 11 months ago. And the
Oh my
name of the
God.
film is A Child's Voice. I got to see it. It was just riveting, and I understand, and it's all of us, John. You dealing with that subject matter, everybody else that I know dealing with it takes its toll on everybody, and it's really difficult, and
Yeah.
so we're
I have to tell you something, to be very honest, because I was still a newcomer to this. So that movie was written in 2017 and filmed in the later part of 2017. So we kind of had like a good, I would say, 8 months of learning, solid, consistent research, daily videos, books, all of that, and putting these pictures together. But I have to tell you, had I known the depth and the level, I might not have risked making that movie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did. I'm glad. I to this day, I don't regret any of it, because I'd have the courage, and my convictions today is stronger than it even was then. But the truth be told is that somebody said to me early on, said, get on camera and get out there and get your name out there as much as possible, so as many people can see you, because that's the only way that you have to protect yourself.
Yes. Also important, because there's been people dropping like flies. FBI agents. Isaac Cappy jumps off a bridge. Another Tracy, and I forget her name, was found hanged supposedly. Another. Hold on, John, for a second here. But I wanted to read you something, because I sent something to Tiffany the other day on text, and I just wanted to read that to you, because it was kind of along the lines of the reading that you were talking about. Let's see here. Hold on. So at any rate, let me I'm trying to find this. So this was the reading, and I have to take time to take care of myself. One of the things I do is I read meditations, and I'm in touch with Native American spirituality, because it's a lot like my Celtic spirituality that was obliterated by the city of London. But anyway, this is just the reading from the other day. They have a reading every day that I read. People need to wake up. They can't hear God's voice if they're asleep. It was said by Vernon Cooper. He was chief of the Lumbee tribe, but he's talking about Black Elk. Black Elk, a Sioux, talks about the hoop of many hoops. He says that above the people there is a hoop, a conscience, the total belief of the people. If the hoop is sick, meaning dysfunctional, codependent, a lot of alcoholism, family abuse, violence, sexual abuse, racism, the people can get used to this, and they think this is normal. In other words, the people are asleep. If we have left the spiritual way of life, the people are asleep. If we're giving our power to another entity, the people are asleep. In most tribes, there are coyote clans. The job of the coyote clan people is to wake the people up. They need to become a nuisance and irritate the people. I'm good at that. We must return to the spiritual walk. Great Spirit, keep me awake today. Let me hear the voices of our ancestors. Let me hear the voices of the grandfathers, because everybody is doing it. Doesn't make things right. Let me hear the truth today and become a coyote for the people. Give me the courage to be and willingness to be different. Let me walk straight on the red road. So that's for you, my friend.
That's very beautiful.
I'll text it to you. I'm trying to get
I'd love to read that, like, just to remember that that's always been the truth about all things.
Yeah.
When one paradigm is on its way out, people become more nostalgic, and they hold on to it because it's what they know. But there's always been those other people who have refused to be reprogrammed, and they have the courage of their convictions with a little naivety, probably built into that equation, because their belief system is so strong, and it's guided mostly, I think, by love, or some expression of it, some holding on to seeing how bad stuff can get and knowing how bad it can get. And so you're not just an idealist in this situation, but you're a realist, and you go, guys, if we keep going down this road, this is what's going to happen. You know, you follow just for a moment where you think of what today would be like if there was a different outcome on November 6th or November 8th, 2016. And what different types of problems we would have with a totally corrupt DOJ, FBI, intelligence apparatus.
I'd be doing the show from a FEMA camp if I was lucky.
I wouldn't be here.
I think we all would be behind bars. Absolutely. If that woman would have gotten in that position, it was over for all
the
of us.
She would have enabled. It's really that. It's that simple.
Yeah.
All the people who would have been fully enabled with no pushback because of just brute force and totally owning the entire organs of power.
Yeah, and we're far from where we need to be, but we're like I said, I've been watching this and the country for a long time, and nothing like this was even possible. And you know,
it was, and I was asleep, dude. I voted for Obama twice.
So did I.
Twice.
No, I think once. No, sorry. Only once. Only once. I take it back.
Most of the good ones are like, I voted Stein in 2012. Like, F you.
Yeah.
I didn't know about her. I was still plugged in the matrix, you know.
Yeah.
Ron Paul was actually interesting to me.
Yes, I had. Yeah, I think I voted for Ron Paul the next time or something, or I forget, another throwaway vote. But yeah, definitely.
Well, actually not. I mean, it is in the rigged system, but Tracy Beams told me this, and she had followed it because she was all part of that. She said they rigged it twice.
Yeah.
No, 2008, he was an insurgent candidate because establishment Republicans were just. They had watched their party become a neocon party. Right. This was not the party of Reagan. This wasn't even the party in Clinton's early time. So that was so he was an upstart kind of guy, kind of like Sanders was. Just came out of nowhere, and he was filling up stadiums, like tennis courts and everywhere else they would let him speak. But they have the video of those, and then in 2012, they totally screwed him again. Yeah. Like rigged him out of it. So no, and then people became pessimistic enough, which is why we got Trump.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the Democrats are going to have to get way more pessimistic.
And they don't have, that party is no more. I mean, it is no more. I mean, you can see.
A relic.
Yeah, they're ripping each other to shreds. There's 20 of them, and there's not even, can you imagine when it gets down to 2 or 3 what's going to be flying? And they're going to screw Bernie over again. Tulsi Gabbard doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and she's probably the best one out of all of them. And but that's fine. And I don't even worry about it.
You shouldn't, because all you need to know is Tulsi, Andrew Yang. Those are the future in terms of. You may not agree with them all policy wise. I'm just saying they are the future, because when all of this, unfortunately, when all this crap clears out, and there will be a toll to it. There's always a societal toll in these types of things, but when all of it clears out, what you're going to have is a modern, patriotic, liberal-ish center party.
Yeah.
That is the correct check on the corporate state. You don't want to go too far that way.
Yeah.
And so you'll have a healthy body, because if you look at all the policy decisions, they don't treat anything of direct value that is going to solve the problem. They're treating a issue with a symptom as a symptom.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. And here in Hollywood, I just give you this is insane. Well, it's not really. But I'm talking about from an understanding point. There are companies that, we do movies, John, we do movies about social issues, human trafficking of kids, child abuse, mental health, homelessness, prostitution, and show the realities of that world with a message of love in all of our films. And none of these companies that do these social issues, there's not even, none of these things are on the radar. It's environmental, climate change, not let's clean up the environment, let's, pollution and trash and all that, and come up with a more, I could go on for that for hours, but
Yeah.
it's just to funnel all the money into the orgs, and then it's LGBT issues, trans issues, bullying, it's like, what the hell?
I know. I had enough. I mean, of all of it, all the PC bullshit, all the, and it's just like you. And I don't. The good thing is I don't turn on the TV very much, so that I don't get to see it. And I think, and it when all this occurs, because if this is done correctly, and I think it is, you're going to remove all that blackmail that's been keeping things exactly as they are, and then maybe there'll be some good people in Congress that finally allowed to get in there, and the whole society will change. But yeah, you can't you can't walk into the woods for 100 years and walk out in 5 months. It just can't be done. But like I said, I mean, I study history, and I believe me, I've put the time in on the pedophilia, and there's just nothing like this has ever happened. And you just we have to go along, make them accountable, and just keep putting the information out, keep educating people, keep spreading the word, because I think if this really comes out what they're actually doing, and David Icke called this years ago with names, called their names out, and they're all getting prosecuted now finally, and they say, oh, that guy's crazy. But what they're doing is they're feeding on these children, they're murdering these children, that's what it's about, and so and when
you think about what that means too, and this is the horror when I realize how dark and evil they are. It's enough. I mean, you say murder of a child, but why? Because when that baby is born and it's conscious, well, it's in an unconscious state of mind the first 7 years. It's in a state of hypnosis almost. But everything that the child is experiencing is something that our bodies have forgotten because we've had so much damage done to us as a whole. But the sensation of being alive is miraculous and infinitely pleasurable and full of love, creativity, and imagination. That is what they hate more than anything else, and that's why they want all of these children dead.
Yeah. And
they don't want that life coming forward because that's what it's born in its natural state to be. You don't have to indoctrinate a kid to get them to love somebody.
Yeah.
You give that love, and if you have a loving mother and father who are together, not contentious and hateful, or dealing with emotional, psychological problems on drugs, when you have healthy, loving people who really warmly care about each other and engage with one another, they bring that forth into the world with the next mind in a new time. And this is what it's all about, is the whole dark thing is holding us down, holding us back from human beings moving forward in their natural inclination to be more curious, more creative, more imaginative, and find solutions to problems that bother them.
Absolutely.
That's what we've been doing for our entire existence, in spite of ourselves.
Yeah, and it's gonna take
our awareness.
It's gonna take a long time. I mean, you can't make the changes in the society and like there's been, and expect to recover from that overnight, and because of one prosecution by the Justice Department. But you know what? There's at least some light at the end of the tunnel, and that's where. And we just everybody keeps doing what they're doing, raise awareness, talk to your and like we've said this from day one when we were doing the show. It's not what we're doing on here. It's your neighbor that you talk to and the people that you talk to in your community, and you know, one becomes two, two becomes four, and you can see it. Even the words, you know, they're Clinton is now associated with Epstein Island. I mean, that's how Clinton body count trended, you know, and a change is taking place, and it's never quick enough. You know, I understand that, and a lot of people are very frustrated and angry, and they have a right to be. But you know, all we can do is continue to do what we're doing, and that's raise awareness. You know, talk to people, and continue, you know, in a spiritual manner, in what we're doing. Because if you don't, that anger and that hatred is going to eat your ass, and believe me, it has mine from time to time, and that's okay.
Well, it can pull at you because you're just like, when is the moment going to come where all of what I have poured myself into, or belief, not out of blind faith, but that you know has merit to it because you have seen patterns and the same players, and it's the same thing over and over, just disguised again and again and again. Same people, different faces, the same groups, different faces, all throughout history, causing the shit.
So, and I'll give you an example. Anybody can do this. I'm a retired firefighter. That's it. You know, no special training, no nothing. Hopefully on Friday, I'm going on with Jason on Crowdsource the Truth, and I've found that I've got a source in the United States Virgin Islands Department of Health that I'm pretty sure is about to open an investigation on that ambulance, why it's there, what it's being used for, and was literally, that was done with a phone call. I'm waiting for a return call from a reporter that has done some really good news or reports on their EMS system down there, and I'm sure she'll be interested in this. But it's stuff like that. I mean, it's not that hard, and just be a coyote, be an irritant, and it's amazing what can get done with a phone call, and there's so many opportunities. This is one thing, but I tell you, I would love, and this person that I talked to, they were aware of who Epstein was, but they were like speechless, because they barely have 5 ambulances that cover the entire Virgin Islands, and they've got one sitting on an island that can't be used for anything other than nefarious purposes. There's no hospital there. There's no reason to have one. And, I know the ins and outs of operating. What I didn't know was if the same standards apply in the Virgin Islands as they apply like in the state of Florida. And they do the exact same. You have to have a certificate of need. You have to have a medical director. It has to be certified either paramedic level or EMT level. I mean, all this stuff. And,
Yeah.
So.
One of the permits that he pulled on the other document that he had, building on everything that he agreed to, and that I guess the city or the governor had signed off on whatever documents for him, whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah.
And they would find him like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he paid for it.
And that's the thing, because there was here's an interesting side note. That Stacey Plaskett is the U.S. Virgin Islands representative in Congress, and and that's why I'm trying to get a hold of this reporter that did the big expose on the corruption in EMS over there, and this other woman, and I don't know if she's still there. It seems like they did a house cleaning, hold on for 1 second. I'm just losing my train of thought. But yeah, the woman that I believe was in that organization was also a Plaskett. So there's and Epstein gave the congresswoman $8,000 for her campaign. but it sounds like with this person that I talked with that they've done a house cleaning probably as a result of those. They're doing house cleanings in Puerto Rico. So there are, and all along there have been good people inside of these bureaucracies that are just there to do a job. So things are turning around, but that should be interesting. I'll let you know how that goes. Hopefully Friday we'll be talking to. I'm getting the high sign from my wife. It's like, you were supposed to be on there for 5 minutes. What are you doing? She's like, what the hell are you doing? But John, thank you for joining me. That was just too. And I don't believe in coincidences. So I remember, you and Tiffany, and now Allison. I know is I'm going to give you Allison's contact information. She's also doing a documentary about child trafficking in Spain, and I wanted to get. She got together with Tiffany, and I wanted, you guys are the new Hollywood. You're making films that count and about real issues, and you're not a part of what's going on out there. So that's and we've had some really, you've helped me through this in a lot of different ways, just talking through it. And I think spiritually we're on the same wavelength. So and we all are. I think everybody that interacts in this, we're the coyote clan, I guess. We're Celtic coyotes. There's some kind of weird shit. So I love you, man, and
love you too, brother.
Keep doing what you're doing. I know eventually between all of you, you're going to be what replaces Hollywood with writing from Tiffany and all these other people that she knows, and the contacts you have, and people like Allison and yourself. And
there is a real appetite out here, and there's two industry veterans of over 40 years that I personally sat down and met with, and they know what's going on, and they want to see something change. So if they're trying to affect that in their careers now, and there's a whole bunch of young talent out here, I just want to positive note, there is a lot of great diverse talent out here, diversity of ideas which bring forth diversity, and they all want to do something that's non-BS because they see it every day, and they see the people running it, and they know who they are as people and their character, and they just know that this is not what art is. This isn't what entertainment is about. It's not about power in a club and an orthodoxy. People was so.
I'm losing you a little bit, John. You're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry. Everything in my power out here to talk just honestly about what they do, and that is, you join the chorus of what's already said, but are you seeing something that already heard? Not being talked about from your neighborhood, in your life, in your experience. Tell me something that you've learned in the journey of discovering this issue, which you decided to take on, and tell me about, and tell me that I need to watch it. What's important about it? What's important to you? What do you believe? What do you feel? And give me something that I haven't seen before, or show it to me in a way that I haven't yet considered it before. Something new. Don't try to imitate an independent film or another filmmaker. They're already imitating. Tarantino is imitating his imitations, and rebranding it as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Did you see the billboard?
Oh, I loved it. I adored the billboard.
That's an actual billboard. I mean, somebody's got some pull out there to get that done. They've got Epstein leaning up against the car and Polanski driving it, and I mean that's all good. So
I'm all for it. Put it in their faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make them defend it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know. I mean, technically, that guy could get sued. They could do all sorts of things and claim that he caused, box office losses, which they could prove. But at the end of the day, I'd say it's an information war, and it's one that more courage, more people coming forward. It's like an avalanche, John. There's so many more stones coming, and as they begin to amass, you can't hold back, and it just becomes an avalanche of public with information And then all those people that wrote off Pizzagate, all the people that wrote off the Podesta emails, all the people that said Jeffrey Epstein was the first domino, John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that said, oh, shoot. There's something my friend said about this and told me it was important. And Q's been talking about it. Whether you believe Q is real or not, it doesn't matter. The whole thing is that it's got open source intel in there that you can pick apart. And there are things that Q said to watch out for a year ago that are actually happening now. But whether that, it doesn't matter what comes true in Q, it's what matters that comes true going forward with the truth coming forward. Yeah. Yeah. That's all that we have, really. Yeah.
And we're not, I know you're not giving up. I'm not sure. I'm sure not giving up, you know, and, you know, nobody that I know that has this as a issue is going anywhere. So I'll keep you up to date on the mysterious ambulance of Little St. James, because I think that could be it's important, you know, because if they can get in there and find out what that's actually being used for, that's more charges for him and anybody else that was involved in it. So we'll see how that goes. And I love you. Regards to you and yours. And stay in touch, my friend. We're on a better road.
Sure are. Glad to be a part of it with you, brother.
All right. Good one. All right, John Paul. God bless. Thanks for dropping by.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye. Well, that was totally out of the blue. I just got a phone call as I was going live. And if you guys haven't seen this film, it's available. There's links on the show that we had him on, and Tiffany Fitzhenry. And so anyway, he's another one of the individuals that's been shadow banned and on Twitter. And, you know, I can't believe it's taken them this long to suspend me. I appealed all 3 accounts, and I doubt they'll be back. But, you know, we'll just rebuild. We've got a pretty decent following on YouTube. I'm actually on Gab because of Jared Beck, the guy who sued the DNC. So we'll just keep cranking it out. And Jason has been a great help on Crowdsource the Truth, and we're gonna be on there Friday with the mysterious ambulance of Little St. James. You know, that's something I can do something about. So we'll see you then. Howie had wanted to, and I thought it was a great idea. We're gonna do a show. Probably it might be a couple of parts because, but covering from Jimmy Savile, you know, to Epstein and everything in between. So that will be after next Friday at some point, and I'm not sure yet, but we'll keep, you know, I'll try to, this was only supposed to be 5 minutes, but me and John get on the phone and we tend to talk. But thanks everybody for hanging in there. I see Kelly's in there, and Harold and Pam, and let's see, but I didn't miss anybody. Well, if I missed you, I regret it, but thank you everybody that hung out, and I'll post a link and hopefully have some more information on Epstein's ambulance on Friday when I go on with Jason. So thank you guys. Things are getting better. Here he is. And check out his movie. I saw it. It was very visceral, real portrayal of what goes on with some spirituality. You know, that's the way we're going to get through this, you know, is in a spiritual manner, because this is definitely a spiritual war, and it's good against evil, and evil will not win. So I love all of you. Thanks for stuff. Did I miss anything? Twitter wars, programming notes, and yeah, Jeff. Oh, there's the Jeffrey Epstein update. He's still in jail, and he has no bail. So that's the Epstein. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Twitter or on here. Yeah, I'm at Fireman John 629 now on Twitter. I managed to piece together another account, and thank you guys for helping me out with that. So maybe we can piece one together for traffic report. Who knows? So I love you guys. Thanks for all the help, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.